Start soaking some white beans right now, because as soon as you see the cherry blondies I'm about to show you, you're definitely going to want to make them for your nutritarian Valentine. The inspiration for today's recipe comes from Dr. Furman's Eat to Live cookbook. He has a fudgy black bean brownie recipe in here, and I thought that would be easy to switch to a white bean blondie. So stick with me all the way till we're done prepping, and I will give you my modified recipe. First thing to do is grease a pan. We're using a teensy amount, maybe a half a teaspoon here, of coconut oil. Pan ready. The sweetener for these blondies is going to be golden raisins today. So I'm gonna throw those into a blender jar, and I'm gonna add just a little bit of water. So my raisins have been soaking now for about 5 minutes, and can you see that the edges of the raisins are starting to turn white as they poof up? That's all that we really need. So I'm going to dump out the soaking liquid and blend up the raisin base. Okay, so what we have now is blended up golden raisins. Oh, looks so appetizing, but I promise it's really sweet and yummy. We got white beans, 2 cups. So now we have really nicely blended beans and raisins, and I'm going to add this to the bigger blender jar because the whole recipe won't fit in here. So we're shooting for 2 tablespoons of cashew butter, and I'm almost out, so I'm hoping to scrape the bottom and get enough. So I'm going to use almond extract because I think that pairs really nicely with the cherries that go on top, but you are free to try other flavors that you think will be delicious. And since we're not going with the chocolatey vibe, I'm going to replace that with some flours that I have at home. Gluten-free flours. This is a 1/4 cup of tapioca. This is a 1/4 cup of coconut, but you could go with any flours you have. The last ingredient of the base of the dessert is a tablespoon of flaxseed. Now to blend all that up. Okay, this is what we've got. And coming back to our greased pan, we're going to dump all of the brownie or blondie. We're going to dump all of the blondie mix into this pan. Okay, here's what our blondies look like before we bake them. We're going to put them into a 300-degree oven for about 50 minutes. I'm using sweet frozen cherries as the topping for this delicious dessert, and I'm gonna put a few in this pan and just turn it on and let them simmer in their own juices. This is what they look like after they've stewed for about 15 minutes. The blondies have finished cooking and cooled. Ta-da! Now it's time to plate one and top with some cherries. Here is that recipe I promised you. Thanks for joining me in the kitchen for this scrumptious dessert. Remember, every time you load your fork, to choose freedom. You're doing great.